we're taking a look at another Masters of the Universe Classics figure today. Quite possibly my favorite character of all time. We're taking a look at Stinkor. Alright, so let's take a look at our figure, and like I said in a few of the other reviews, I'm not going to go over packaging for all of these guys. So if you want to see what Motu Classics packaging is like, take a look at the He-Man review or the Skeletor review, because it's all basically the same. Now, the big thing about this figure that I can't really show you, I can't demo it, is that he smells. So just like a nod to the vintage figure, Stinkor here has been coated or infused with patchouli oil. So he has a very strong odor, and I mean, this figure is years old at this point and he still smells. My vintage figure still smells. So that's probably part of the reason why I like this guy so much, is that smell. I don't know what it is, but that really gets me in the nostalgia area there. So let's take a look at him. He's pretty basic overall, though. There's not a whole lot special going on with this guy. So we've got swivel at the head, nothing, no real rocker or hinge. And as you can see, just like the vintage figure, he's got that kind of repainted merman head. So he's a skunk, but he's a repainted merman. We've got arm swivel, we've got rotation, we've got the bicep swivel, we've got a single jointed elbow, we've got those kind of Skeletor wrists, and then we've got a wrist swivel. He's got his armor here, which is again shared parts. We've got waist swivel. He does have an ab crunch, and it's pretty decent. Even the armor does get in the way, but not too much. We've got pretty good rotation with the thighs. They go out pretty far, just as with all the others. We have a thigh swivel. We have a knee joint. We have rotation at the boot, and then we have a hinge at the ankle, and those are like the Skeletor feet again. With a little bit of a rocker this time, which was a change that came on later in the line. So as far as Sculpt goes, I mean, he's pretty faithful to the vintage figure in terms of his overall look, and it's a good use of shared parts, which is a key tenement of the Motu line. As far as the paint apps go, pretty solid. We've got the red paint on the gloves. I've got a little bit of a splotch on my arm. He's got the red and the orange loincloth. He's got the orange boots with the darker toned toes. We've got some detailing in the armor there, the same kind of color that's in this dial here and on the toes, and then some yellow accents. And then of course we have the skunk striping on the body, on the back of the neck, on the back of the head, and we've got on the face and those yellow striking eyes. So he looks very close to his vintage counterpart. I think he has the standard articulation we come to expect, and the paint apps are pretty solid on this guy. So let's take a look at his accessories now. Okay, as far as accessories goes, he's got 3. Nothing too crazy here, though. We got a blaster rifle, and we've got a shield, and then we've got his tanks that sit on the back. So this is supposed to be like a mouthpiece, so you can kind of breathe through it. This is the tank apparatus for it. It's all in just a single blue molded plastic. There is no detail on it whatsoever, which I think is a bit of a shame. Maybe a wash at the very least, on the tanks. Around all these little like greebling kind of parts here would have been nice. Overall, I mean, nothing too fancy there. It's what he needs as the character. I think the biggest draw for the figure is his skunk appearance and the smell. So for me, just having the accessories is good enough. I don't know why we don't have a little more detail on them. I think there could have been at least a little bit of line work on them, but overall, it is what it is. They're nothing special, but they certainly could be worse. So let's wrap this guy up. So like I said, Stinkor is for me one of possibly my favorite Masters of the Universe character. He's a figure that I've had since I was a kid. One of the few that have actually lasted and remained with me, because I don't have them all still. And I've just always loved the design and the smell and everything about that. Even though that I grew up with the cartoon, and Stinkor was not a cartoon character. He was not in the Filmation cartoon. They wouldn't use him because he would be a quote-unquote running fart joke. So he was just a toy, and he came out, I believe, towards the end of the line. But that said, he was always one of my favorites, and I still got him. He's boxed up somewhere, but I still got him. So I was really happy to finally get a hold of this guy when he came out in the Classics line. I think he's amongst one of the more difficult to find at this point. I know he commands a decent price, at least on the aftermarket, and rightly so. I think what was done for this character was done pretty well. Very true to the vintage style, good sculpt, good articulation. Accessories are kind of weak, but for me, it's not a huge deal breaker. So that's going to do it for this this look back at Stinkor, guys. As always, stay tuned to Toy Bro for more reviews. Lots more Motu classics coming along. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.